What's going on, everybody? It's ETA Prime back here again with another LaunchBox news video. Today we're really excited to announce actually not one, but two new LaunchBox releases. We've got a new release for Windows, which is LaunchBox 13.8, but along with this, we're also releasing a new version for Android known as 1.11. And just like all of our releases, we've got some fixes, improvements, and new features. But the first thing I want to do here is cover the new 13.8 release for Windows because we've got some really great stuff over there. So a lot of users may have noticed that with recent releases of LaunchBox and Big Box, we've really been focusing on importing our PC games from Storefronts. And right now, we've actually got access to Amazon Games, EA, Epic Games, GOG, Steam, Uplay, Windows Store, Xbox Game Pass or Microsoft Game Pass games, and you can always manually add your own games if you want to. But with this release, we wanted to make a pretty big improvement here. So now we've actually got a Manage Storefront section. So from Tools, Manage, Storefronts, and from here you can see we've got our Amazon games, EA, Epic, GOG, Steam, Ubisoft, and Xbox. Now I'm logged into 6 of these right now. Personally, I don't use Amazon games that much, but it's really up to you. If you want to log in, you can. But basically, with the new Manage Storefront section, it just gives us really easy access to our storefront credentials. We can enable automatic imports on startup, and keep in mind, if you don't want to import your PC games, you can totally disable all of this. You don't need to. You can use LaunchBox and Big Box specifically for emulation if you want to. But a lot of people out there just want an all-in-one front end, and that's what we're offering with Big Box and LaunchBox. So from the top here, we can enable our automatic imports on startup. You can always disable this if you want to. Personally, I kind of like leaving it on. Moving down the list a little bit, with some of these storefronts, you'll notice that you will need to be logged in order to import your games. So EA, for instance, is one of them. And just to give you an idea of what kind of features you can expect by logging in to a few of these storefronts, so you can hover over the log in or log out button. For GOG games, you can see here that it does support achievements. Kind of the same thing here for Steam. So some of these platforms do support some really awesome features as long as you're logged in. Epic Games is one of those where we can actually just allow LaunchBox to scan the default directory and import those games for us. So from here, we've got installed games, or all games that does require a login. Steam is another one of those that LaunchBox can scan that default directory, so you will not need to be logged in to import your games. But personally, since I'm already logged in on this PC, I've just got it set up here for Xbox, Ubisoft, Steam, GOG, Epic, and even the EA game storefront. Now again, you can disable automatic import if you want to, so you're not going to automatically import these games, but we've got a few new features here which also help out with this kind of process. With 13.8, from Tools, Scan, we can now scan for new storefront games. So if you don't want to have these automatically imported every time you start up LaunchBox, you can do it manually from here. So we'll just run this real quick. Got our new notification center. If any new games are found, it'll notify us here. I've already done a scan. Go ahead and clear all. But obviously, this makes it easier to just go ahead and scan. If you've got LaunchBox up and running and you've installed a game in the background, you can just do a quick scan. It'll import that new game for us. Now, even if you have automatic imports on, if we've got a game here that we don't want to see anymore, let's say Fall Guys, I'm going to go ahead and just delete this. So I don't want this game in my library anymore. Now, since I manually deleted this, next time I start up LaunchBox, it's not automatically going to import that game again. So we'll go ahead and close this down. Even though I've got automatic imports on, LaunchBox knows that I no longer want that game because I manually deleted it. We've got automatic imports scanning for new games that have been installed. And I recently set up a new storefront, so I should have a bunch of games to import here. It'll give us our notification over here with our new LaunchBox notification system. It'll tell me how many games were imported, and it's downloading the box art in the background for me. So it just automatically imported a bunch of new games for me. But if we scroll down, you'll see that Fall Guys isn't here. Basically, what I've done is tell LaunchBox I don't want that game here, and it kind of blacklists it for us. But yeah, we've been working quite a lot on the PC storefront import, and I think it's coming along really nicely. Personally, I do love having kind of an all-in-one front end to go for my old school retro games, newer emulated games, and my PC games. So when I start my computer up, I can go right in the big box, start playing any of the games that I want to play on my computer. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we've got a brand new version of LaunchBox for Android. This is known as 1.11. And just like the Windows counterpart, we've got fixes, improvements, and some new features here, so we're going to go over a lot of it. I'd say the main new feature here is the new theming engine we've implemented for LaunchBox on Android. This is going to allow developers to come up with some amazing themes. And now, in the stock version of LaunchBox for Android, we've got 10 themes that work with this new engine. Farron actually updated all of the themes he's created. So right off the bat, we've got 10 to choose from, and these look absolutely amazing. If you've ever used LaunchBox for Android, you know that banners is our default theme. I think it's a really nice theme. This is also by Farron. But we've got a new list here. So if we head up to Manage Themes, you can see we've got a lot to choose from. So you can download these directly, 10 in total, but we've got 3 new ones for this release. First up, we've got Colorful Flex. Checking this out, looks really great. Does have a couple different views, and we'll take a look at all of these in action in just a little bit. We've also got Lucent, another one. Really nice design. And finally, my favorite, Vision in Light. I think this really sets it off. It's a good looking theme. It performs absolutely amazing. And heading back to our main menu here, we'll go ahead and swap the default banner theme out. I've already got everything downloaded. We're going to go with Vision in Light. And this is the filters view. I don't know about you, but I think this looks really good. This is my new go-to theme with this release. I mean, it's just really nice, but we've got a few more to take a look at. We'll go with Lucent Light, and this is another one that uses that awesome artwork. Super smooth transitions, and with this release of LaunchBox for Android, we've improved performance across all views. And another new one we have here is Colorful Flex. This is the hardware version. Very minimalistic, really like the way it's set up, and it's definitely a bright theme. And again, all 10 themes that are available to download right now have been updated for this new theming engine, including the default themes. Take a look at that box art as it drops down. We've got a lot of new effects in this new theming engine, and I cannot wait to see what these developers do with themes on Android. With this new release, LaunchBox now remembers the last filter or platform you used, and it'll select it when we come back here to LaunchBox. So for instance, I'm going to leave off here at NES. We'll just go ahead and close it down. Start it back up. It'll bring us right back to where we left off. And we've also added a new option to the import process to allow us to whitelist file extensions. And this is going to come in really handy for importing those platforms that have several files per game, like let's say TurboGrafx CD. Heading over to my files, got a few of those games right here. Godzilla, for instance, you can see we've got a ton of bins, but what we want to focus on is that queue. So now with LaunchBox, when we go to import, menu, import games, I'm going to select that TurboGrafx 16 folder. And now we've got a new option, only import files with the following extension. Remember, we want to focus on those queue files. So from here, we're going to input .q, add new. Now LaunchBox is only going to import the queue files from those games. So we'll proceed with import. And as you can see, LaunchBox went through and only found those queue files for us. So now we've got TurboGrafx CD imported. We'll let this finish up the import. It'll download that artwork in the background. And there we have it. We can now start playing our TurboGrafx CD games. So yeah, lots of new fixes, improvements, and new features for both versions of LaunchBox, Android and Windows. We really hope you enjoyed this dual release, and we've always got new stuff coming, so keep an eye on the YouTube channel and the forum. But that's going to wrap it up for this release video, and like always, thanks for watching.